background, everybody. Me and him worked together at Blockbuster for what, 6, 7 years?
Something like that.
Something like that. So it's like all the movie stuff, we was together on it. We watched everything that came out because we almost had to. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Hope Views. Today we're going to be sitting down and talking with local author and close friend of mine, Skasa Rideau. We're talking about his new book, Therapy Sessions, Truth and Contradictions. And we also kind of kicking the discussion off based around a popular topic, talking about the Kendrick Lamar album. It's my favorite album that's been out in the last few months, I want to say. When I think about my playlist, it's the thing that I have on repeat. So there's a song on there that I heard it and I decided to send it to you. And I think the official name is Father Time, but most people call it the Daddy Issues song. Right. I know through working with you over the last few years when we worked together and having a friendship that we've had that lasted, we've been knowing each other like
15, 20 years.
About 15, almost 20 years now. Yeah, it's about right. Over that time, I know that the issue with fathers and the relationship with fathers kind of, it's a huge deal in your life as well as in mine and most people's. Right. So, talking about the song first, what did you grab from the song that kind of really like made you say, like, man, this is hard hitting?
Man, what caught me off guard was the fact that it was so similar, to the things that I felt and dealt with. Just he's been carrying this for all these years. Mm-hmm. Then finally he decided to just release it through song. Mm-hmm. And that type of expression is actually a good way of getting those type of things out.
Yes, that's actually a point that I want to bring up when we get to talking more about the book, is the idea of like self-expression being super important and being therapeutic in itself. Right. I know it is for you with the book, and I know it is for rappers and artists, but I think in our community we don't think about the impact of.
No, we don't. I mean, not having a parent or a father present in your life, it's a form of trauma, mm-hmm. And it's a loss. And it's one of those things that we're taught as black men in particular, we kind of suffocated, be strong, be tough, don't talk about it, don't think about it, mm-hmm. Not realizing the impact that can have over us over the course of our life and those people close to us.
Yeah, absolutely. I know me being a father and, you just saw the girls, and my idea is that the song, I didn't really identify with nothing, and I think through conversation we've talked, like I don't really have a horrible or any kind of bad childhood experience. My father's still alive, still very present in my life. Him and my mom married. There's no infidelity. There's no abuse. It's very not normal. I didn't realize how not normal it is to have a childhood similar to mine and a father like mine. But I recognize that, and in me, the thing that I connected with the song for was that in the song, he talks about the things that he did growing up because his father wanted him to be a certain way. And I think one of the lines was something like, everything you didn't want is everything I was. I think about me and my girls in the way, and even with the students I teach, my focus is always so much on the future that I never really think about the here and now.
Right.
So that's when the song, I was already thinking about these things. I had some conversations with a few students. I think specifically of Emma, I think of Naja. And it's like I've talked with each one of them, or I've had interactions with each one of them that made me say, maybe you shouldn't think about the future and you should think about here and now. Then the song comes out and I'm like, it's hitting on the thing. Now when I sent this to you, your thoughts was like, I have 2 poems in the book. So right. Can we transition and talk about the book and the 2 poems specifically?
Yeah, the 2 poems specifically are called The Conversation Part 1 mm-hmm. and The Conversation Part 2.
Okay.
The situation with me and my biological father is that I never knew him.
Okay.
Never met him. We had 2 phone conversations. So there's just a lot missing. So the poems were written so I can get out the things that I would have told him had I met him.
Okay. Huge. That's huge stuff. And you see, I thought at one point, and you correct me, and I may not use all this stuff, but I thought at one point y'all did talk and did kind of get to know each other a little bit, but that was like way later in life.
Yeah, I had my first conversation with my dad probably around 20 years old. It was something that my mom forced, which actually my half-brother's mom started the whole thing. Mm-hmm. It was just kind of weird the way it happened. My half brother's only about a year younger than me. And so I called him, we talked. It was such a dry, non-personal conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so like I left it feeling very bitter. I was never going to talk to him again, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But my mom forced that last conversation. In a way, I'm kind of glad she did, because that last conversation was the last conversation we ever had.
Okay.
You know, he was in the hospital, and then shortly thereafter, he passed away suddenly from a heart attack.
Okay. Okay.
So it's just living with that unknown what could have been.
And taking that point, because I know that the book is therapy for you and it's therapeutic for people to express. How did that really help you develop, and then because you have 2 kids as well. So it's like, how did your experiences with your father kind of change that, and then how did writing the book kind of shift your thinking as far as expression and getting those thoughts and emotions out?
You see, growing up, I always had the feeling of I'm not gonna grow up to be like my dad. You know, a lot of people want to grow up and they want to emulate what they see.
Yes, that's my case. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I want to be opposite of that. You know.
Yeah.
Now I did grow up with a father in the home. My stepdad raised me, did a great job providing and whatnot. You know, we don't always see eye to eye. Never did. You know, but it's just that lack of that biological dad. It was a barrier for me growing up. So it was like I always try. I'm gonna do everything opposite of what he did. I'm 10 times better than what he did. I'm be way better dad, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what drove me for a long time. But after having kids and experiencing them looking up to me and wanting to be like me, you know, I'm like, well, I got so much anger and rage in me and just hurt. And I don't want them picking up on that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to pass that down to them.
So you go through steps with the writing and everything else to kind of get those frustrations out, get those thoughts out and things like that.
Correct.
Yeah. So circling back to things that are popular and things that I tend to talk about on the channel, I do movies.
Right.
Have you seen The Adam Project?
Never seen The Adam Project.
We talk about fatherhood. So here's the thing. I'm writing too. I'm doing a little blog post.
Okay, yeah.
So I was supposed to do a long blog post on The Adam Project, along with the Christian worldview and the roles of Father, Son, Holy Spirit, all that stuff. But in the video I did, the review, I did it talking about the impact of the Father. Did you say something about that, or you commented on that? I thought you did.
I may have. I commented on so many of yours.
You gotta watch this movie.
Okay.
It is a science fiction. It's fun for the whole family for the most part. Your kids are...
They're really big Marvel fans.
But how old though?
They're 8 and 10.
Oh, they'd be right in there. It's nothing too graphic or too bad, but it is a fun action movie. But the role of a father and the role that a father plays in a kid's life is super prominent throughout the film. And I wish you would have had a chance to see it before we sat down and talked, because I would love to hear your thoughts as far as it relates to the father being present as he was in the film, and then being taken out of the child's life as he was in the film, and then you get to see the grown-up version of the child who grew up without, and then you get the child who is currently growing up without, because it's time travel.
Yeah.
So you get 2 versions of the same person, one who is currently going through life without a father, and one who's went all the way through without a father.
That might be kind of hard for me to watch.
Oh, yeah. So there's some moments toward the end, because it's Ryan Reynolds, it's Mark Ruffalo, Jennifer Gardner. So it's like, there's the bar scene, you might not make it.
Oh, man.
Is it because he's talking to his mom after growing up and being how he was? It's like, hey, that scene was incredible, as well as towards the end, there's some moments where it's like, hey, it's real touching. It's real touching stuff. But I encourage you to watch that and drop a comment or something, or maybe we can get back together and talk about it, because that's one that I would love for you to get the perspective of. Real good one.
Most definitely. You challenged me, because I still can't get through the Fresh Prince scene from the original Fresh Prince with the dad.
Oh, really? With the Why He Don't Want Me?
Yes. Oh, my God.
Did you watch the new Fresh Prince?
Oh, the new one was really good. That last episode, oh, my God.
So the finale with Marlon.
Yes.
I was surprised to see Marlon. Were you surprised to see Marlon?
I was surprised, and I was surprised how well he did.
I wasn't. And normally, you follow the movies.
Yeah.
background, everybody. Me and him worked together at Blockbuster for what, 6-7 years? Something like that. So it's like all the movie stuff, we was together on it. We watched everything that came out because we almost had to. They didn't tell us to, but they encouraged us. Like, watch the movies so you can talk about it to the people who come in. But yes. So as far as movies go, he's right on the same level as me as far as watching and understanding. And I was not surprised by Marlon Wayans because, you know, the comedic actors, they tend to dip in the drama real easy.
Right.
So I knew he could, I had a strong feeling he could go there. And I had a, you know, I'm in the space now, so I get spoiled. And I seen an image of Marlon on set. So I was like, oh, Marlon gonna play the dad. So when he showed up, he did his thing. I was like, oh, this is impressive. I thought the new Fresh Prince was very good.
Yes.
And I know you did comment on that because I remember that video and a few comments on that one. And I thought that was a really good series. And the theme of Will's fatherhood issues really played out well. I like to see where they go with it in another season.
Most definitely.
As far as the book, where can people get it?
It's on Amazon. I always have copies of me personally, but of course, I don't have contact with everyone. But it's on Amazon, purchased on ebook, also as well as paperback.
Okay. And are there any like signing appearances? Because I know you had posted something about having a signing appearance that you was going to do. Where?
I did do one in Lake Charles about.
Oh, so that passed already?
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
I don't have anything currently set up, but most definitely I'm willing and able to appear wherever needed.
Yeah. My other thought though, before we close everything out, is when it comes to the price point, it is $9.99, right?
It's
so
$10.
$10. It's readily accessible for anybody who's interested in checking it out, and I highly encourage supporting authors locally, also supporting Black authors, just looking into bettering yourself, because this is a book of poetry and it's talking about real deep concepts, real personal experiences, and it's things that people can relate to whether you've been through it or not. Because as a person who absorbs as much as I absorb with the watching the TV and watching the shows and reviewing everything, it's important to identify other people's situations. And I feel like as a teacher, learning from other people's experiences and then being able to implement that when I run across kids in different situations is also a real good help. So I'm checking out your book. I also have another one from a student who wrote a book of poetry. I was like, wow, y'all both dropped at the same time. So when I made the purchase, I purchased both, and I'll be coming back to the channel to do a full like book review of this one. Go ahead and hold it up. Therapy sessions. That's all we got for the video. We thank you all for stopping by. Hope that you check out the book on Amazon. We'll actually put a link in the description for you to click and go straight to it. So that's all we got. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and go read something sometime.